I'm here tonight to talk a little bit about fundamentals. I spent a lot of time in the mid-90s and early 2000s, high school and college, participating in this really vibrant, exciting music scene that existed in DC and Baltimore. More so DC to an extent, but Baltimore as well. Centered around bands like Fugazi and Jawbox and Lungfish, The Makeup, The Great Unraveling. Yeah, bands you've all heard of. Discord Records, Nation of Ulysses. And I don't really participate in it as much anymore as I maybe could or would like to, but being part of that taught me a lot of things, and there are things that I've tried to sort of carry over from that experience into my personal, creative, and professional life. So I've distilled them into 7 lessons learned growing up in that culture, and I want to share them with you in hopes that you can derive some of the same value from them that I got. So first, create, don't join, or lead, don't follow. This is basically about asking yourself the question, do you want to produce or do you want to consume? Do you want to speak with your voice, or do you want to have your voice get lost in the shuffle? Do you want to blaze trails, or do you want to fall in line? It's always going to be more risky and more awkward to be the person that's outside of the crowd. It's also going to always be more rewarding. The things that you learn, the experience, the wisdom, the knowledge that you gain by forging your own path is invaluable and far more rewarding on a personal level and ultimately professional than just joining someone else's thing. It's risky, it's dangerous. You have to learn to embrace failure. You have to learn to embrace ridicule at times. That just goes with it. You're not going to be successful all the time. You're not going to even finish all of the time. But so be it. Number 2, resist overly complex systems. Now when you're doing things like booking shows and making t-shirts and going on tour, you sort of have this natural disinclination towards things like police, zoning laws, insurance. Well, you know, as I get a little bit older, I realize that there's a reason for that, and it's because any system that is overly complex is by nature designed to keep me out. So, don't worry about it. Find the gray areas, find the margins, find a better way around those systems. They're inherently gamed that you can't win. Not saying do anything illegal, necessarily. It's up to you. Just find a way around something that you can't beat. Be ethical, or don't be an asshole. The thing is that nobody is going to say I'm unethical, but unless you have this sort of top of mind, it's all too easy to sort of slip and make some sort of shady decisions and not even necessarily realize you're making them. Now, in that world growing up, nobody had contracts, nobody had lawyers, very few people incorporated. It was just a matter of doing things with your word was bond. It should be that way as you move into your professional life and your creative life. If you do things that are unethical, you're not only harming yourself, you're harming the community, and I'm getting behind, but that's great because now it's time to talk about community. Draw on the resources of those around you. If you don't know how to do something, and chances are you don't know how to do everything, unless you're very lucky, somebody knows how. Somebody knows how to do the things, has the knowledge that you don't yet have. It's not a sign of weakness to go out and ask for it, it's a sign of strength. Be willing to go and take advantage of the network of people that you've surrounded yourself with and draw on the things that they have that you don't. The corollary to that, let those around you draw on your resources. This is about closing the circle. It's about completing the network. It's about the surplus resources, ideas, insights, wisdom that you have, making those things available to the same people that are helping you. That's about being a good neighbor. It's about being part of a community. It's about being responsible. It's about doing the sorts of things that lift everyone up, not just yourself. Next point is trust your gut. Pretty much anything is doable. This is about reorienting your basic mindset so that whenever you have the urge to do, to make, to create, change your mind to think first of how it's possible and not of the roadblocks in front of it. I mean, I know if I slip into this all the time to where it's, you know, the roadblocks are the first thing that come up. It doesn't have to be that way. Anything's accomplishable with the right attitude. It's a little bit Pollyannish, but it's true. Doesn't mean you're always going to succeed, doesn't mean you're always going to get there, but if you put your mind into that point where you can at least try it, you'll be better off. Finally, don't make profit your sole motive. Now listen, I'm not saying don't make profit a motive. Money's good, I want it too. Focus more on the other things. Focus on being a good neighbor. Focus on being part of a community. Focus on sharing your resources. Profit will come as a logical extension and byproduct of that. If you put profit first, if you make that your sole motive, you're missing out on all of those other things. All of those things that will ultimately make you happier, make the people around you happier, make you more successful. Thank you very much for listening. I hope to connect with all of you on some level either here or in the future. Have a good one.